So in one of the earlier episodes, I asked everybody for their opinion in terms of how much of the grass I should remove, and the consensus was remove it all. So my son Ryan recently visited and he asked me, hey, when are you gonna take out the rest of the grass? And I said, well, that's kind of been the big debate in the household. The executive producer likes the way the grass looks in the front yard. And so he said, well, why don't you put a river of grass? And some of you have talked about having paths of grass through your garden. And we reviewed that with the executive producer, and she said, oh, I think that'll look nice. So even though I'm not 100%, you can hear it in my voice, I feel some urgency to hurry up and get started before she changes her mind.
It took me a couple tries to figure out a good technique for removing the stakes from the edging.
So the concept is that the other side of the path, or this mother metal edging I put in, will mirror or parallel this side that it's already existed. Other than maybe this area where I'm going to leave it a little bit larger, potentially for a bench to go so people can come and sit and listen to the water. But that's the concept. I want to get the draft in so I can get the executive producer to buy off on what this looks like. So I just measured this. I'm a little greater than 4 feet. And one of the things we discussed is the narrower the path, the more curvature shows, the more artistic it is, the more pleasing it is to look at. The wider the path, the more it looks like just a patch of grass. So I'm gonna, even though it's only a couple inches, I'm gonna move it into exactly 4 feet. And once I get it all tacked in, I'm gonna have the executive producer come out and give me my final approval.
Looking at the house. The executive producer approved the layout with enthusiasm.
So I'm starting the next section. So I'm going to rewild this area in sections. And normally my biggest issue is having enough leaf litter during the summer, but I'm going to show you a secret. So there's a landscaper that's been dumping leaves in this public area for a couple years, and it's this beautiful organic material that I'm going to be using as a mulch in the next Rewilded section.
I have never seen so many vine roots growing in one area. Each morning I would walk out and assess how much work was left. Now where is my coffee? Bumblebees have started to show up.
I'm so tired, but I gotta get this part of the grass removed today.
I was overly tired as earlier in the day I was digging holes for a native planting at a preserve taking place in a couple of days.
Just a little rest.
The quick rest re-energized me.
So unfortunately yesterday I ran out of steam and I did not finish removing the grass from this area. I'm going to do that today. I bought some mulch and some flowers that I'll be putting in this area to start to fill it in.
I had to buy mulch as I depleted the cache of decomposing leaf litter. I don't know why, but I find digging out grass and removing the dirt therapeutic.
I posted a picture online of the new section I'm rewilding, and the biggest number of comments was on the fire hydrant and the concerns that this was in a rewilded area. So it made me think I'm going to put some stepping stones here, because really you don't get in trouble as long as you don't try to hide the hydrant or impede access. And so I'm going to make stepping stones so that it's very obvious, hey, you have full access to the fire hydrant.
The fun part of any rewilding project is adding the native plants.
So the weather is telling me I'm done. It started to rain a little bit. I've planted about half of the new area. I'm going to spread the last bag of mulch that I had to buy. And just a word on mulch. Don't buy red or black. Use natural. Nature's Way has a good product. It's all natural. Very comfortable with it and it works great. So part of gardening is transplanting. And I've got some Blackfoot daisies here and over here that I'm going to transplant into the new section. It gets a lot more sun. I was hoping that the afternoon sun would be enough for these plants, but they like a lot of sun. And so I'm going to transplant them into the new area, and hopefully they'll be a lot fuller and robust. So I don't know how well you can see it, but I've added some temporary perches just to see if the birds would land on them and look at the stream. And sure enough, 15 minutes after I put the perches in, birds were landing on them. So I'm headed in the right direction. I'll do some more work on that, but I just thought you'd be interested, based on your feedback, that yeah, the perches are important for the birds to come into the water. So I made a comment about my concern for algae in the stream, and a number of people recommended that I add barley straw to help with the algae. So I bought this package for $10 online. It's 2 bales. Each bale treats up to 2,000 gallons. My stream is maybe 70, probably not even. And each bale lasts for 6 months. So for $10, I'll be able to treat my stream for a whole year. So I just about lost my mind. I was standing over here talking to the executive producer about some of the transplanting I was doing, and a black and white warbler showed up and landed on the perch and then went into the full flow of the stream and took a bath for about 30 seconds. I don't have a picture, but I'll show you a picture I've taken someplace else just so you know what a black and white warbler looks like. I also had a pine warbler come in very shortly thereafter and land on one of the sticks I have marked for where I'm going to plant some rock roses. So what I'm doing is working, and I appreciate all the comments on the need for perches and everything else. It is all helping, so keep the comments coming. And the bluebirds are everywhere.
I added a small dish of mealworms, which increased the variety of bird species visiting the garden. I didn't understand why the bluebirds were so active until I saw at the very top of the trees 4 baby birds the parents were stuffing full of mealworms.
So based on the concerns people expressed about the fire hydrants, the rock, the edging, tripping hazard, I did visit a local firehouse and talk to two very polite firemen. They basically said, no, we're not concerned about either one of the metal edging and the thing. They did say, as long as we have access and we can see it, no problem. He did indicate, he said, look it, you do know if we come in, we may mess up your garden. And I said, I understand that, no problem. So I may touch base with the township just to double check, but I'm pretty comfortable that what I've got here, I will embed the stones just to eliminate any potential tripping hazard. I'm comfortable that I'm fully complying with the needs of the firemen. I continue to be just amazed by the garden and the response from wildlife to this area. As you look around your home, if you see things that you think you could change to enhance the environment for wildlife, I encourage you to make some of those changes. You won't be disappointed, and you may just be amazed what happens.
The new Rewild area is not complete, as I need to add additional plants and embed the stepping stones. But the garden's impact on wildlife and me continues to grow.